This past weekend was Alpine Volks Fair in Helen, Georgia, and me and Caitlin and five of our other friends actually, made the trip down to Helen, Georgia for that event. As you guys all know, the Mark IV did not get put back together. Obviously, the Mark II is long for being put back together, and there's no way in hell I trust the Mark I to make it down there. So we took the Mark V Jetta wagon TDI all the way down, and the drive went without a hitch. And unfortunately, I did not shoot a whole lot of content while we were down there. I basically filmed sections of the drive on the way down, and then I filmed one event that we went to while we were down there, and then that was basically it. I didn't film any more content. So, admittedly, this video is not necessarily what I want it to be, but it is what it is. So let's get into the drive a little bit. We got up Thursday morning at 3 a.m., left my house at 3:30, and got on the road. If you've been in the VW scene for a long time and remember SoWo, a company called Coolwater VW, I believe, did a cruise from basically central PA, New York area all the way to Helen. So we follow a modified version of this cruise. This is my fourth year of going to Helen. I've gone to Alpine Volks Fair since they brought the event back. Actually, the last year of SOWO was my senior year in high school, and I didn't go to it, even though living in North Carolina, that was only like a 5-hour drive for me. That being said, we got to the Bruggs Mill Country Store for breakfast around 7:30, which we made a really good time. That's what this time lapse is of, driving Interstate 81 through middle of Virginia, north of Roanoke, basically. From there, the drive gets kind of boring after that, so I turned the GoPro off and conserved some of the batteries. But the next section of the drive is when I know that we start getting close. So this is driving up and over the mountain in around Mars Hill, North Carolina, on Interstate 26, driving south towards Asheville, and like this is my sign of we are almost there, and these roads are going to get fun. The views driving up and over this mountain are spectacular, and as you'll see, we're going to pull off at a rest area and actually use the semi-truck parking for basically a good photo opportunity. About 3 hours later, um, we make it into Helen. So this last little bit is the actual last corner that you make onto the road that goes through the center of Helen. Unfortunately, I got stuck behind slow traffic, so my favorite thing driving into Helen from like the south end of town is when you come down that chicane and into town, and the mini golf course is on your right hand side, and like the town just looks amazing from that view. It's my favorite thing to see. So unfortunately, I didn't get a clip of that because slow traffic in front of me. I did not feel like following them going 25 miles an hour, so we just veered off and went straight to the Airbnb that we were renting. So yeah, that's basically the drive that got us there. The complex that we stay at, we've stayed at for 2 years now. It's really nice. We can leave the cars parked and still walk into town. It's basically perfect. So we keep staying there every year, and hopefully our group doesn't get too big that we outgrow that area, but we'll see in the future. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the drive down. This clip is the Mark 7, Mark 7.5 Wagon Cruise. There's a bunch of guys that are really passionate about wagons, specifically Mark 7 and Mark 7.5 all tracks and golf sport wagons that organize a cruise every single year. So I rode passenger with my friend Jarrett. Check out his channel at Jetty's Garage. I'll throw the hashtag or his username, whatever, down below. But so I rode passenger in his Mark 7 all track.
I'm backing off.
It was a fun time. There were some sketchy moments, as you'll see in this video, but overall, definitely enjoyed seeing some of the roads around there, because what tends to happen when I go to Helen is I get into Helen, I'm tired of driving, I don't want to drive at all Friday, the show is Saturday, and then Sunday we're trying to squeeze in like the last bit of what everybody wants to do while we're there. So I tend to not drive a ton around that area, even though it's like absolutely beautiful down there. So it was nice to see some different roads and get an idea of how that area is to drive. I'm gonna pause the cruise right here so you can hear me and Jarrett like yelling about this Colorado that's coming around the corner. So in real time, not watching the video after the fact, in real time, that Colorado was flying. We had other guys behind us that told us later that that Colorado actually crossed the yellow lines coming out of that corner. So there was pretty much a 40-foot drop on the other side of that road, or my side of the road, that I could see out the passenger window. So yeah, we were not a fan. That guy definitely pushed his limits and pushed that Chevy Colorado's limits. But looking back at the video, it does not look nearly as bad as what we thought it was in the moment. But let's keep on watching.
That's a local. No way there's not. Like, fuck that. The fucking Colorado. There is like no pole on there. There are lights flashing before our eyes.
Overall, the show was awesome. Unfortunately, the weather was not awesome. So Saturday it rained basically all day. It was dry like during the show, but pretty much as soon as the show ended, the rain just rolled in and ruined the evening. So there wasn't much opportunity to go out and watch cars drive around through Helen. So we basically just hung out in our Airbnb and enjoyed each other's company. But Paul and Eurotripper put on an amazing show, just like always. The quality of the cars were absolutely amazing, and I'm not a after movie person. I'm not that skilled. I am not making an after movie or attempting to. So there's plenty of other YouTubers and media people that put out after movies. So go watch any of their stuff if you want to see the quality of the cars that this show brings in, and what the actual show field looks like at this event. But definitely having withdrawals from Helen. Can't wait for next year. If you've gone to Helen and you have ever gone to Alpine Speedway or Alpine Slot Cars, I talked to the owners of that establishment on Sunday afternoon, evening time, and they seem really interested in getting back involved in this event. The ownership changed over the last couple of years, so the original owners from 2019 are back running it again. So they are super interested in getting back to supporting the show and having an event that is directly linked to the show. So if you're interested in slot cars, if you like slot car racing, or if you just want to come out and try it, we're going to try and make an event for next year, pending that, Eurotripper and Paul and everyone that's involved in the actual show is okay with that. I don't want to step on any toes by doing this, of course. So, yeah. If you are interested, please leave some feedback down in the comment section. That way I know that, it's going to be a worthwhile venture for me to try and set up. And, yeah. Look forward to working on the Mark IV in the future. Unfortunately, I ordered some parts and they have not arrived yet, which I was hoping they would, so I had them to install over the long weekend. So, yeah, it is what it is. Holiday time frame is always rough to try and get parts because you don't know what businesses are doing. So, anyways, we're going to make some content for some other vehicles in the interim while we're waiting for parts to arrive. But that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see everybody next time.